It seems like Dumbledore is always trying to save the day in the wizarding world. Whether it's Voldemort or Grindelwald, seems like he's always taking on dark wizards who want to rule and destroy. And he's not alone, got some people helping him along the way. Harry Potter and Newt Scamander. And so here's the question on the table today. Who would win between Dumbledore's two sidekicks, Harry or Newt? Well, let's get into it. But before we get into it, make sure you go subscribe to the channel. And if you already are subscribed, big hugs and big kisses. Also go join our YouTube channel membership, join our Discord, and carry on this conversation with us down below. And starting out as we're getting into it, let's talk a little bit about Harry Potter, the boy who lived.
The boy who lived. Come to die.
Well, not so fast there, Voldy, because you've already tried that and it didn't really take. Didn't really work out too well for you in the end either, huh? So, Harry Potter. While he didn't start out as much, just a little boy living under the staircase, through his time at Hogwarts, with a little bit of help from his friends and teacher, just a touch of murder and violence along the way, his magical abilities would grow exponentially, to the point where he'd become unquestionably one of the greatest duelists in the world. He knows plenty of spells and charms and jinxes, even formed a Patronus at just 13, which a lot of strong wizards thought was insanely impressive. And while he might still be a student and might not know everything, he knows plenty enough to get by, to win some fights along the way. He's beaten Death Eaters plenty of times before, taking out some of the strongest witches and wizards alive like it's nothing. He was training up Dumbledore's army when he was just 15, teaching even 7 years advanced magic like Patronuses, and he was still the most powerful and the best duelist out of the bunch. At the Battle of the Ministry, Harry showcased a bunch of different and unique spells, taking down plenty strong Death Eaters who were all aiming to kill him, taking on Lucius Malfoy and Bellatrix Lestrange and some seriously powerful wizards. Sure, he might be protected by Dumbledore sometimes, might be protected by his mother's love and his connection to Voldemort through being a Horcrux. Probably couldn't beat Voldemort on his own, but not many wizards can. Only Dumbledore can. Voldemort is like a god-tier wizard, up there with Dumbledore and Grindelwald, and Harry is still just a teenager. But just because he has some help or some additional protection does not mean that everybody can do what Harry can. George Weasley literally states that Harry far surpasses most every wizard at the Ministry of Magic, who can't even perform a simple shield charm. So he is way beyond your average wizard. And he was only 15 at the time. Just being able to survive encounters with Voldemort is enough for me to be impressed with Harry, much less the fact that he finally did end up beating him in the end. But on top of that, Harry's skill, his raw power, his experience in fights, and his track record of win after win after win leads me to believe that Harry is going to be a really hard wizard to beat in a fight. But let me tell you something, Newt Scamander is a sneaky powerful wizard too. I mean, there's a reason why he was Dumbledore's favorite student, why Dumbledore picked him specifically to help in the fight against Grindelwald. He's been in plenty of dangerous situations, managed to not just survive, but thrive and come out on top. The Ministry of Magic even tried to recruit him to be an Auror countless times, force him into the war effort, going so far as to use his international travel rights as leverage to get him to join. Newt is nothing to scoff at. He has shown an impressive level of knowledge for curses, counter curses, potion making, defense against the dark arts, charms, and transfiguration. He literally wrote the book on magical zoology. He's able to take on Aurors and Grindelwald's men and win, even being outnumbered 3-1. Help save Paris from Grindelwald's fire. Then on top of that, survive 2 different encounters with Grindelwald, even help beat him the first time around. And remember, Newt doesn't have any additional protection surrounding him like Harry does. Doesn't have his mother's love or being a Horcrux or anything like that. No, he's just surviving these fights solely on skill and ability. And then there's also just the insanely impressive magical feats that Newt has pulled off. And I'm not even talking about in a fight. He managed to separate an Obscurus from a Sudanese girl, which before that was thought to have been impossible. No one had ever done that before. And then there's his briefcase. Now, we've seen magical objects being bewitched to be much larger on the inside than they appear. The tent at the Quidditch World Cup, Hermione's bag, that sort of thing. But Newt's briefcase is on a whole other level. He's essentially carrying around a full-sized zoo or Noah's Ark in his briefcase. It's just a scale that we've never seen before. I mean, it's housing so many animals. Some of their habitats are massive. This thing might be the most impressive magical place outside of Hogwarts itself. So I think Newt is probably the more experienced wizard, knows magic and abilities that Harry does not have. And if he's feeling particularly bloodthirsty or vengeful, well, I bet he could just dump out his briefcase on Harry and call it a day. There are probably some magical animals in there that could mess him up. But in just a straight up fight in an old fashioned wizard duel, I think I would give it to Harry Potter. He's always been better in a fight. He's got more experience, got more skill at dueling, and has that ability to just kinda see red. Get into the fight, go for the kill. Well, not the kill, but the stupefy, the disarming. Newt isn't that same type of fighter, just fighting out of necessity and is perfectly willing to run away or try and talk his way out. So Newt Scamander might be the more experienced wizard out of the two, but in a straight up good old fight, I'm choosing Harry every time. Harry Potter wins. But what do y'all think? Go join our Discord, sign off on there. What are your thoughts? I would love to hear them. Also, be sure that like button, subscribe button, join the YouTube channel membership to become part of the FanCo army, and I will see y'all next time.